Hi, and welcome to another video of mine. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the things that anyone can do, or especially people of LGBTQI community can do to make the lives of others LGBTQI people better. So in the starting, I would like to say that yes, we have all heard the news about the big defeat that LGBTQI people of India had recently, because the central government said that the Delhi High Court cannot give the LGBTQ people right to marry. So yeah, that is a big defeat, but I don't think that is the end of everything, because that is just the beginning. First thing I would like to say is the passive revolution. Now, passive revolution is not a abrupt change in the society that happens within one night or within 1 week or within 1 day, but passive revolution is a slow change that happens gradually over the years. It's a slow metamorphosis of the society, and it sometimes takes generation to happen, and that has been happening in the LGBTQ. That has been happening for the LGBTQ people in India. You can see that in 10 years from now on, only 10% of people actually wanted the LGBTQ people to have same rights of the straight counterparts, and 90% of them either did not have any opinion on them or did not want them to have them the same rights. But whereas now 35% of the people in this country actually want LGBTQ people to have similar rights, to have same rights that of their straight counterparts, which is a big improvement. And that could not have happened without the years and years of pride parade and media changes, and like the change of how people view LGBTQ people, and that happens over a long period of time. And yeah, like Section 377 removal, like yes, it was a big monumental change, but people have fought for that change years after that, and people are still fighting after that. So yes, no change that will be happening in the for the LGBTQ plus people will be a change that could happen like that in a snap of a finger. Another factor that actually helps us in this passive revolution as thing for the LGBTQ people compared to other minority groups is that we are completely random. We are born to random straight people at random places at random times. And yeah, like in 2011 census, it was noted that there are approximately 2.5 million gay people in India, and that's just the gays. Like, you are not even taking the bisexuals and like almost 500,000 transgender people in 2011 around that time, and by now the numbers have obviously increased a lot. So yes, like, we are present in this country in a vast number, and we are born to random people and random places, and we infiltrate this heteronormative society of theirs, and we change the minds of our parents. We make them accept them, we make them more liberal, and as a result they make their neighbors liberal, and in a way it's a chain reaction. And it's not always successful, but in a way, since we are so random, we have been able to quote-unquote infiltrate the straight society much better and change it for our benefit. Now, what does this mean? What does this passive revolution means? Now, this passive revolution does not mean that since it's happening, we just sit around and do nothing. No, we still have to keep on continually doing the things that we are doing. We will still have to continuously keep on doing these pride parades, making people aware of the LGBTQ plus issues, the social issues that transgender faces in this country. And there are a lot of different things like that are not even addressed in today's LGBTQ plus topic, like the gender non-binary stuff and all of that, and the pronouns, and like we need to start discussing that as well. And we need to move forward with all of those to make a positive change, or a positive passive revolution that will help the society change years down the line. Now, the second thing that I would like to say is the abolishing of hierarchy. So straight people have a hierarchy, weirdly, for the LGBTQ plus people. Even like they think that straight are on the top of the food chain or some chain, and then there are bi people, there are gays and lesbians, And then there are transgender people. Like straight men thinks lesbian porn is hot, but gays are not so hot because they don't fulfill their sexual fantasy or something. So as a result, every straight person or every person in general will have formed some form of hierarchy inside their brain that, oh, this is the hierarchy. And all those types of hierarchy of considering someone else in the LGBTQ plus subspace better than the other is actually quite damaging. And you can actually see it in the LGBTQ subspace itself, like in pride parades. Mostly it is muscular gay men in speedos because they consider themselves like the top of the hierarchy or something, and then comes everyone else, and we completely forget the thing that the freedoms, the rights that we enjoy today haven't had came if the transgendered in this country had not taken up the pride parade. They have started, like transgender people in Bhubaneswar, in Kolkata, in many other places have started the pride parade and all of that actually way before than the gays have started that. So yeah, like, and we have taken over that, and we have completely forgotten the contribution of the trans people and all of that. And yes, there is some different hierarchy when it comes to economical levels and all that, because of course gays would be men, and in this country men actually have like a better advantage because, you know, they are privileged because they have that. Although that advantage is, you know, you cannot do anything about that advantage unless and until the society starts seeing that as not an advantage. The thing that you can do with that advantage is actually use that advantage to change other people's mind who think trans rights are not important, to change their views on the trans right and make them think that trans right is important. That's how you should be using your privilege if you are privileged in the first place to begin with. Topic is the availability of better sex education, better availability of better sexual treatments, and the availability of better sexual clinics in the country. The only type of sex education that we get is the sex education for reproduction, and not the sex education for pleasure, or the sex education of how to protect yourself against AIDS, or how to protect yourself against gonorrhea and other STDs. I have talked to many people on Grindr, and not many gay people even get tested for HIV or other STDs, even like once in 3 months, which is kind of baffling to me. And that's because the education system has failed us in many ways, and failing us to teach the proper sex education is actually just one of those ways they failed us. And the second thing is that they would need better clinics for that. I remember the time I actually went to you know, a government hospital because they do the free STD testing for free of HIV, and everyone looked at me like I am some sort of dirty being, like I have came from the sewers or something, like I smelled or something. Like that's the expression that they had when they heard that I am there for getting tested. And all I can think about is like, wow, like why? Like, is everyone in a bad mood, or like, am I here on a bad day? I don't know which it was, but yeah. Number 3 in this same topic is that the better availability of medication, the better availability of treatments for common STDs and for HIV and AIDS. Like PrEP in West Bengal costs somewhere around 4,500. I have asked a doctor personally, and that's what they have told. Now 4,500 per month is a huge cost to pay, and like, of course, if you are earning and you want to be safe against AIDS and you are in one of those groups who are in high risk of getting AIDS, that could be a very good investment, those 4,500. But not many people in the transgender community in India, in the Jyoti community or in the Hijra community, has that amount of money to actually invest in that and get that medication every month. And not even that, they aren't even treated really well by the doctors. So that's why I said better treatments for the STDs and making them accessible easier to the people, because the doctors, even though they are doctors, I'm sorry to say, can sometimes be prejudiced depending on where you are. Like right now, I'm in Kolkata, and any doctor that I've seen is not that kind of prejudiced around these stuffs, but still, when I was back in Bhubaneswar, they were prejudiced about this. So, yeah. And number fourth thing and last thing is a loving family and loving friends. Now, the thing is that we don't have control over our family. We don't have control over where we will be born. We don't have control over who will be our father or mother. We don't have control over whether they will be accepting or not if I come out. But we have control over our chosen family. We have control over our friends. And surrounding yourself with people that love, and surrounding other LGBTQ people who are struggling with their identity or other things, surrounding them with love and just being there with them and loving them unconditionally, irrespective of their sexuality, can actually make a big difference in their lives. Like for you, for someone who's straight or isn't a part of the LGBTQ plus community, that could simply be like, nothing. Just being a good friend to someone who is gay or lesbian or bi or transgender. That does not take away anything from your, life. We cannot always find a loving family, so whenever we do, even if it's a chosen family, like stick with them. This is the end of this video, and I will have to say that I have not posted much videos for the last week because I was busy with other stuff. But yeah, right now I will try to be more consistent with my postings, but I cannot promise anything. I will try to be consistent. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, do all those things because the algorithm helps. And yeah, bye. I don't know how to end videos. Please tell me.